Simple as that, as if by magic. We are live on Facebook. So let's get the show on the road. A warm welcome to everyone. We have a wonderful show lined up for you this evening. My super guest is a stand-up comic. He also astounds people with his magic shows. He has his own weekly show on Instagram, more on that later. He also likes to talk about the spiritual side of life, meditation and consciousness, to name a couple of aspects. It's my delight to bring you the wonderful Danny Buckler. Cheers for joining me.
Hello, Facebook.
Yeah, the wonders of Facebook. I'm just going to share this into one of my groups, if I may.
Yeah. So who's watching this then? Is it anyone on Facebook can see it, or?
Yes, it's literally on my public profile. So I've done a couple of adverts for it. I'm going to share it into one of my healing groups, one of my spiritual groups as well, because I've advertised it in there and there's a lot of interest.
Oh, nice.
Share to a group. Energy healing. Pop a little comment on. It helps with the algorithm. Sam Whitaker's just jumped on.
Oh, sweet.
And post. Right. Oh, we've got people jumping on already. That's cool. Right, I'm sure you've been asked this so many times, Danny, throughout your career, but I'm genuinely dying to know, how did you get into comedy? When did you first realise you had a natural ability to make people laugh?
No one's asked me that in a long time, actually, Dan, so thank you for asking. Let me see if I can remember how it happened.
Yes.
Oh, I'm old. I tell you what happened. I thought I was born with this desire to be on stage and perform, but I didn't know how. I didn't know how to do it because it wasn't an option where I was from. You know, like on our council estate, there was no drama school. It was in me. It was innate, but drama school was not an option. You know, Father, I seek the stage. Get a job, son. So I got as far as college with acting, and I was slightly hampered by the fact that I was dreadful at it. But I loved it, but I was just I don't know if I was no good or just didn't have anyway, I wasn't gifted. I was in the same year at college as Martin Freeman.
All right.
He was gifted. That he was just a natural actor from the off. But as part of the course, we had to do a self-devised piece. We had to create our own thing, our own bit of theatre. So I set out to do it. I thought I'd do a magic show because magic was my hobby and I loved it. And it was a way of putting the two together. And then it came out, when I did it, people laughed. It came out funny. I went on stage and like jokes were coming out of nowhere, like funny things. I was saying funny things I hadn't planned on saying. It was a lovely little moment of things lining up, and I suddenly realised, I could do this. Here's a way in. Here's a way to fortune and fame and glory everlasting. And that was the start of that. So I started doing comedy clubs, and it went from there. Yeah.
Right. Wow.
That was the moment I realised. That was the moment when the thing happened.
Mm-hmm. And presumably you do the circuits, regular comedy clubs and things like that.
Yes, so I did the comedy circuit, as was then, which doesn't exist anymore. But there's still something. Actually, there's nothing now. I say there's still something. There's nothing. It's been wiped out overnight completely. But prior to the events of this year, there was a comedy circuit throughout the UK. There was a chain of clubs called Jongleurs. I worked for them. There's lots of clubs, the Glee, and there were comedy clubs, and then there were comedy nights in hotel function rooms and in all sorts of stuff, and then theatres as well, because as you get better known, you start to support other acts that are more famous, and you get to do theatres. I've done an awful lot of that. I toured with Victoria Wood, and then that's the story of me. And then Disney, and now I do it all over the world, which is lovely, and I love it. And we'll do it again when the lights come back on.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's weird. I don't know where to look because I've not done it on this. This is StreamYard. It's StreamYard, isn't it?
StreamYard, yeah.
I've just gotten used to Zoom, and now this has been offloaded on me. This is I move that way, and my head on the screen moves that. It's like this weird. I'm in reverse on the screen. It's kind of like the Matrix, isn't it?
Yeah, it must be distracting. I must admit, I'm doing the same. I've never noticed it does that before till you mentioned it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. How bizarre. Just get a few of the hellos up on screen. Hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone that I know.
Yeah, Juliet. Juliet.
I know Juliet. Hello, Juliet. Samantha Whittaker. How are you?
I said, Jeannie saying, hi, Danny and Danny. When Danny met Danny, yes.
I thought no one was watching. There's none of this on my screen.
All right, right. Yep, we've got 11 people on and counting.
Hey!
So I'm saying Danny is amazing on stage, really talented and funny. Went to see him at the end of February, just before COVID hit. Excellent. Yeah.
Sad, yeah. That would have been the last laugh up in Sheffield. That was like the last gig before comedy became illegal. You know, that was the like, oh, good times though. The Memorial Hall.
Yeah, so that brings us nicely into how you. I'm not wanting to get too personal, but how are you sort of coping? How are you managing? With having been shut down for all these months.
Right. Well, I'm surprisingly all right. I lucked out. I had a bit of money, so which I'm living off of, saved up, which is disappearing rapidly.
Yeah, I bet.
But I'm kind of I'm all right. I mean, I'm doing stuff still. There's things coming out of this that I wouldn't have done otherwise that I'm now really enjoying. Like I started doing live streams on Instagram.
Yes.
And that was initially kind of it's Friday night and I'm a comedian without an audience and I want an audience. So I'm going to turn my phone on and I'm going to go blah, 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 blah. And just, if anyone wants to see it, great. But I've got to express myself, I need to express myself. And that's now turned into a thing.
Yes.
I've got this little Instagram show with a small but loyal following. And we chat about all sorts. And that's kind of growing into like a nice little thing. And there's people that I'm reaching that I wouldn't have reached otherwise around the world. And that wouldn't have happened without this. So I'm trying to focus on the good things.
Yeah, that's good for you.
I'll spiral. And
sorry.
Yeah.
So for those watching, I've got a lot of musicians on my friends list as well. And other people who are mortified at the government's comment about, people should just retrain and get another job. So
it's outrageous.
Yeah, it is. It's horrendous. It's just awful. It's appalling. It's unacceptable. So I'm just wondering.
It's a fundamental misunderstanding about what the arts actually is. People think of it as being this sort of fancy for rich, which it is, a fancy for rich kids, and it's just people playing violins and how's that viable? It's actually an industry that brings in as much money as sport.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't give you exact figures because I'm not that guy, but I know it's as much as sport. And you think about the West End, like so Les Miserables is not on. It's not just ticket money you're losing. It's train fares into the West End.
Yeah.
It's the meal afterwards. It's the drink before. It's the cafe culture. Showbiz affects everything. Yes. And it's also vital for mental health. But people want to be entertained. People don't want to work all day and then come home and stare at a wall like it's 1984. They want to be entertained. What are you working for? They want to laugh. They want to have some joy in their lives, and the arts bring that. So to dash them off with a retrain as the potato man in Asda, no disrespect to the potato man in Asda. That's an important function, but Asda's got a potato man, and that's what the universe is doing over there. This war on the arts is quite annoying.
It is absolutely. We were chatting briefly before we went live, and I would love you to share about what sort of things you have in the pipeline, how you can still entertain people. I know you mentioned Instagram, but you've got maybe a couple of things lined up, maybe surrounding to overcome this.
Well, I've been doing all sorts of stuff. Like I had a new hour of stand-up ready to go. I wrote a new hour, and I was going to do it at Coventry Comedy Festival, and that was cancelled. So I thought, right, the audience is still there. I can still do it. I just can't do it in person, but I can still do it. So I did. I went on here. I went on Instagram, actually, not on here, because this is StreamYard. This is a new thing to me that I'm obviously going to have to get conversant with. But right now, I'm in the undiscovered country. But I went on, I did it on Instagram the same night. I made a poster, put the poster on Instagram. People turned up. I got about 40 people watching it.
Yeah,
I did it. I did it to my phone. And then I did it again as part of a virtual comedy festival where they bought a ticket, they logged on. You can see them, they can see you, you can hear them laughing.
Good. Having a beer.
So it's like, absolutely, in the comfort of your own gaff. Now, it's not the same. No
No.
way it's the same. Please, everyone calls this the new normal.
Oh,
I hate
no.
that phrase because it's not. It's new, but it ain't normal.
It's abnormal.
I mean, I prefer the term the temporary insane.
Yeah.
But it is what it is for at least the next 3 or 4 months, probably a bit longer. And then some sort of normality will return because we have to meet for show business to really work. You have to be in the room. And as far as I know, without turning into the whole being Mr. There's no virus, man. They're trying to put chips in our brains. But if you can sit in a play, you can sit in a theatre. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I can sit at work, with co-workers in the restaurant, take your mask off when you're sitting down, but I can't meet a friend in the pub for a beer. It's illegal to meet my mates in the pub for a beer.
That's nuts. It's either all or nothing. I don't understand this weird virus that doesn't like Phantom of the Opera. And it won't get you after 10 o'clock at night. It's just they'll be out any second. 10 o'clock, we got to go. We'll get them tomorrow. You know what I mean? This virus that likes an early night.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This virus that apparently is self-aware enough to be able to discern the difference between a theatre and a play. It's not, it's either lock it down or don't, but don't. This weird thing of keeping all the stuff that's miserable unlocked. Then cutting joy off at the knees.
Yeah, that's right.
Telling kids they can go to university, then locking them up when they get there.
Yes.
They could have stayed home.
I know, that was disgraceful. Hundreds of Scottish students have just buggered off. They've left the halls of residence and gone home.
I hope they all do. It's ridiculous. You're paying for that. Why? If you're going to sit and watch your lecturing on a screen, you could do that from home.
Exactly.
You don't need to
criminal. Yeah, it is. That's right. Just going to give a shout out to my cousin Audrey Green. Hi, Audrey. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, cousin Audrey.
Samson, check out Danny's Insta. He's kept me entertained every week during lockdown. He's extremely generous with his time. His crazed gangster episode was incredible. All of them are.
No, thank you.
I didn't see that one. Danny, do you have any memorable or funny stories to tell when you've been doing a comedy club or a venue or something? Have you got any stories?
It's an environment that the most recent one was this Zoom show I hosted I hosted a Zoom show last week then. Yeah. So this woman, I'm doing it through an agency, brilliant agency, and the lady, the booker, the client wants it's for students, and this is before it all kicked off. She wants 200 guests for this online event. So I and the agent, actually, fair play to, we split, but we had to buy an add-on for Zoom to do this, to get the extra 200 people in. Guess how many turned up? I paid 65 quid. 65 quid for this. Guess how many turned up?
Pop in the comments section. How many you think?
I can't see your comments, but Danny's moderating this, even.
Yeah, it'll help Facebook share this live stream to more people. So go on, have a guess in the comments. How many you think turned up to Danny's live stream?
I paid for £65 for the extra add-on. How many you reckon we got in?
There's about a 20-second delay between us going live and so let's just give it a moment or two. Let's just fill in a bit of dead noise, while
this is like live telly, isn't
it? Come on, you miserable lot. Have a guess. Jenny Louise.
Who says Jenny Louise? You're not far off.
Kevin saying 25.
25. Lower than 25, Kevin. 50. Lower than Judy.
Yes.
It's the classic game of skill and chance. Guess how many people came to Buckles' gig?
Sorry for calling you a miserable lot, by the way.
Nothing to repair. Not in this game. Get involved, people. Wake up. This is interactive entertainment, mate. You don't get this on the telly. Right, I'm going to tell you because it's slowed down and this is dead time. 17 was the answer. 17 people. And I'm hosting the meeting as well, which I've never done before. Normally, when you do an online gig, somebody else hosts it and then you do your bit and then you're gone. This, I'm actually hosting. So I'm trying to work out how does one enter when it's already started? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like this, we sort of popped up when we were sat here. So I've got the old backdrop set up. This is my magic sheet. This conceals the fact that I live in a house that a Polish dock worker would turn his nose up at. I'm off to the side and I'm trying to work out what to like. Do I kind of come in from the side, like how Alfred Hitchcock at the start of good evening, or do I want to come up from the ground, like, you know what I mean? And
Yes.
hove into view. But I'll walk on from the side like it's a comedy club. So I'm letting them in, and I'm sort of off to the side, clicking them in.
Yes.
Well, the best thing about hosting this thing is that I've got the mute button.
Yeah.
Which is invaluable, because I'm thinking about heckling. Like, normally when someone heckles you, it mucks up the show. You've got to deal with it. But I've now essentially got like a disintegration button. Like silence. And I can get shot. I was fantasizing about being like a Bond villain with the ejector seat button. Just like, you failed me, Mohammed. Press the button, and they get fired out through the ceiling. So I can see them coming in, and they're coming up. And it occurs to me as they're coming in, no one knows what's actually happening. No one's told them. What's supposed to happen is the head of the student union is supposed to come in, do a speech, welcome them to the uni, and then bring me on to do a bit of stand-up. And he's not shown up. And I don't know why. I imagine he's bottled, because unbeknownst to me, world events are going the way they're going, and the students are not receiving the shock that we were talking about earlier. So it becomes 10 minutes in, no sign of him. So I sort of come in from the side like this. Hey, guys. Welcome to the thing. There's 17 of them. I've got like a lad getting stoned in his chair. 4 girls eating their tea are sort of off in the corner like that. I've got another girl on her headphones, and I assume she's listening to me, but she's not. She's not. She's not she's on her phone and just looking at me out the corner of her eye like this. Absolutely. And I now look like, because no one knows who I am, I look like I'm the cool teacher. The teacher who's popped up and is trying to be cool with the kids. Like, you know, hey guys, how are you? I'm not Mr. Buckler. I'm cool teacher. I'm Danny. Hey guys, want to smoke weed? Fine with me. As long as you're not caught. Hey, I might even join you. I wear sandals in the summer. The cool teacher. Yeah. You know, they're all looking at me like, you know, you're all right, mate. Chat amongst themselves. There's 3 lads playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Like, it's that, and I've had to go, well, fancy a show? Let's start then, shall we?
Yes.
And every picture needs an appropriate frame, and this has not been framed appropriately. So I did my 20 minutes, this sort of weird scene of, like, I'm watching squares black out. I'm watching other squares come in as people are arriving, sort of doing this, and then disappearing again. You know, it was a nightmare. A nightmare. And anyway, I just went, should we just go in the pub and just blow this off? And we did.
Yeah.
As well as it could.
Yeah, I suppose there's no bad experiences. That's just all experience, and you'll use that for the next time. Maybe.
Experience.
Yeah. You'll use that the next time you host Zoom calls, you know, or get some
entertaining anecdote for live streams such as this.
Yeah, that's right. You can bring humour to almost anything, can't you? Yes.
Oh, you can. Yeah, everything's funny when you take yourself out of the equation. You know, things in the moment, you know, everything becomes funny with time.
Yeah.
But when you take yourself out of the equation, things are funny as they're happening.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't got to wait. So when you take it personally, that it becomes something else.
Yeah, that's right. I remember watching a live stream we did with Stephen Russell about a few weeks before he passed, bless his heart, and he went down some amazing rabbit holes. And I remember him saying to you, "Ooh, there's a bit of meat to this conversation." Danny says, "You know, normally it's just kind of on the surface and it's superficial." And I really see another side to both of you, really, to be honest. I know you like to bring in the spiritual. I know we've got we're actually going live into one of my spiritual Facebook groups where there's spiritual people.
I never know what to talk about. I don't know who's watching, so I don't know what people are sort of up for. But
I mean,
meditation. That was the last night I ever saw him. I've seen it because we did two. And,
yeah, I saw them both. Yeah,
one of them was the last night that I actually saw him. He was here. He was not. He was just over there. It was he came and stayed with me on his way through to whatever his next adventure was going to be.
Yeah,
and we were just sitting around, and he just played guitar with my housemate for a bit, and then I live with a guitar player. So obviously, he played guitar with my housemate. He was a plumber. No, they were jamming, and then we were just talking, and I just thought, should we do a live stream? Yeah, why not? Let other people sort of hear. We did. We just turned my phone on and did it, and yeah, it's on YouTube. I think I did put it on you. I think I put it on YouTube.
Yeah, you did. I like to bring Stephen up as often as I can.
Oh yeah,
keep his memory alive. He was loved by so many, and he left such a wealth of knowledge, information, teachings, wisdom behind. And I like to bring him up as often as I can. He often pops in to my meditations or to say hi and to offer some encouragement or some wisdom, which is lovely. Yeah. So, do you meditate, Danny? Is that something you're into, meditation?
It's funny you should say that, Danny. Yes, I do. I do indeed. An awful lot, in fact. In fact, I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
And I'm not even making that up. Yeah, I do. I do indeed. I've especially as this has been going on, I've been much more formalised since the COVID. I've been making sure I do at least I'm at least an hour of actual formal. I am going to sit for this time, and then but then I'm kind of I'm doing it now. I do it all the time.
Yes, I know that the more you do it, the less noise you have in your head. And you become present in your everyday.
Yeah.
As you see you do it now.
You see through the you see through the illusion of the individual.
Yes.
You see through the fictions. You see through, and you see what's actually happening, which is literally this and nothing else. Which is a very powerful. It's, as I say, it's hard to talk about because I'm talking about taking a position. It's not a position. There is no position, but that position of no position is the best position one can take when confronting an unknown situation such as we have now, because it takes a lot of the fear out of it, because you stop projecting, you stop fantasizing, you stop, pushing into an imaginary future that's probably not going to happen. And then you can deal with what's in front of you, and that's the best place to be.
Yeah, that's right. And you're not seeing life through, as you said, all the lens of perception.
Everything's fighting for you. Everything's fighting for your attention at the moment, and most of it's fighting. Whether it's intentional or not, it is making people scared of ghosts. I'm not saying there's no virus, but I mean, there's an awful lot of people are afraid. People are losing their livelihoods. People are losing stuff. Everyone's and it's a period of massive change. And when change is happening, the place you need to be is right here. Not off in your imagination, not off making yourself ill, not releasing stress chemicals into your bloodstream.
Yeah, that's right. Some people popping on that don't normally view my live streams, or if they do, they don't leave comments. So, hi, Mark. Mark and I went to school.
Oh, nice.
Christ knows how many years ago now. It's so true that anything can be funny. The problem is that sometimes it seems people look to be offended. Strange times indeed. Yeah, that's right, mate.
Yeah, they do. But it's a stimulus response, isn't it? Everyone's conditioned, and they respond to what's happening out there in relation with their conditioning. So when you do a show, if there's 200 people in a room, there's 200. Like I don't know how many people are watching this. You said about 11. Is that right?
There's 13 at the moment. We've had 18. So it's kind of 13. 15, yeah.
So there's 13 live streams happening right now.
Yeah.
There's not one. There's 15 because there's me and you as well.
Yeah.
There's a happening going on. This is happening.
Yes.
And it's occurring to me how it's occurring for me. It's occurring to you how it's occurring to you. And it's occurring to every individual watching it the way it's occurring for them. And every single one of those is completely different based on the conditioning of the nervous systems of the people that are watching it. And everyone's having a different response to what's being said. And that's how it is with comedy. You have a funny thought and you present it, but how it's received by an individual depends on their conditioning, what they're bringing to it, their life experience, the reality tunnel they've constructed out of their beliefs and their experiences. So you can have something that I find hilarious, but someone else will find massively offensive.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because they're conditioned in a different way.
Yeah.
And like your man said, some people are literally wired to be offended by absolutely everything, which is just what's happening over there. But it's not a fun way to live, especially not now. If you're conditioned to react all the time, you're never going to be happy.
So I'm interested again in the perspective, Danny. How do you deal with triggers? How do you deal with unresolved emotional issues and triggers? So do you have anything that you do specifically?
Yeah, I do. I had a load of part of me scratching my nose. I think it's this.
Yeah.
This has got like dust in it. Every time I put my backdrop up, I get an itchy nose. I swear, people watching my live stream must think he's on something. Look at him.
Get in.
Welcome to the show. Just have some confidence. How are you, everybody? Have a good show tonight.
Yeah.
So, how do I deal with I've lost my thread now. What were you saying? How do I deal with?
I guess unresolved emotional issues. Is anything specific?
Well, I had quite a few of those for reasons that I won't bore you with now. And I was unaware of the fact I actually had something. I had PTSD, which I always thought was something Snowden's got. And I was diagnosed with that at one point. And I always thought that was something that you got in war zones, but it turns out, you know, without going into details, a traumatic childhood leaves scars.
Yeah.
But the gift in that was that it inspired this quest for spiritual peace. For what that sounds so pretentious, but that's what it was.
No.
You know, most people who embark on any kind of spiritual search, when they say, "Oh, I'm looking for meaning. I'm looking for serenity. I'm looking for," what they're looking for is two things generally: power and otherness. They want power over their circumstances, you know, and then all they want to feel different to how they're feeling now.
Yes.
They feel like shit and they want to feel nice. And there's one of the misconceptions of enlightenment is that you just feel nice forever. And that's not what it is.
And that's why people get despondent. And that's why
people burn out. You get burned through the seminars. You speak to anybody. They've always done Tony Robbins, and then they've done this, they've done that. They've done Stephen's stuff. They've not found what they're looking for. They know there's something they can't, but and the simple truth is it's not out there in any system. It's back here.
Yeah.
But no one wants to do that. And I count myself. I remember reading about the non-dual perspective for the first time and getting angry at the book because it was all about loving what is and being here now. And I was like, well, I don't want to love what is because what is right now sucks. And I don't want to love it. I want it to change. I don't want this. I want change.
Yeah.
But the trouble with that is you're always putting it in the future. It's always over there. And the future never comes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's always in someone else or something. It's always in, you know, the most important thing to realize is that the bliss you seek is not in the object. The bliss is within you. There's no bliss in an object. None. There's no bliss in a teaching.
Yeah.
None. There's no bliss. And this is not, don't take me wrong. There's no bliss in Stephen's books. There's the momentary hit of reading it and being excited, but that's an object. The bliss, the Tao, is not in the object, but the object points to the Tao. Does that make sense?
Totally.
And it's when you actually see the Tao, and I'm not saying the book, I love Stephen's, but God, I've read all of, do you know what I mean? I'm not saying they're bad or wrong. It's not wrong to read these things. But what I mean is, it will not give you what you're looking, it will give you techniques maybe to help you to see, but it won't give you what you're looking for, because what you're looking for is what is looking. You know, that which is looking is what you're looking for. You can't put it in words. The Tao that can be named is not the Tao. It's beyond words. It's an experience that I can't give you. No one can give you. You've got to see it. But a good teacher can point it out to you so that you see it for yourself. We've got on for a bit of a tangent. So, when I finally got that, the traumas and the negative, the conditioning, it still happened. It happens now. It happens now. It doesn't stop happening. You can't stop, but it doesn't happen to anyone. Does that make sense? It's what's happening. You know, and there are ways. So, and there are ways to see that, and meditation's one of them. So that's why I sit. You know, that's like the training wheels, if you like. Sitting in, you know, calming and opening. That's my two phrases: calming and opening, for the thing that I kind of explained to people.
Yeah, the same meditation eventually brings you face to face with yourself.
Yeah. It's that whole thing. What was your face before your parents were born?
Yeah.
You know, what was your original face? And you're looking at it right now. When you get that koan, it's not literally a face that appears in front of you. Stephen said that to me when we were talking about Kabbalah. He studied Kabbalah for a time and never got on with it. And I'd studied Kabbalah and I couldn't get on with it. It's such an unwieldy, and I mean proper, not the sort of think of nice things and they just happen, Madonna Kabbalah. I'm on about proper, the tree of life, the Sephirah, the 4 levels, all that. and I could not get on with it. It's such an unwieldy system for me, because everyone's nervous system is arranged differently. I've got mates that are Kabbalists and they swear by it and it worked. For me, no. When I came to it, it wasn't. And he had the same experience of Kabbalah. He studied it for a year and then pretty much dropped it because he couldn't. It was just an awful lot of work for an tiny amount of reward for him. But he did say that when he went through the tree of life with this Kabbalist, at the end of it, he did see the face of God. He had a vision of the face of God.
Right.
And I asked him what he meant by that. And he said, I saw the face of God and it was my own face. And I thought, get over yourself, mate. No, I thought, you're all right. You're not God. Let's get this in the second. No, but no, I kind of got what he meant. And then I had the same experience and I suddenly realized, oh, right, yeah. I'm looking at the face of God right now. It's this. So are you. So's everyone out there watching this. It's this. This is it. This is the face of God. We're in it. We are it. We're not separate from it. Does that make sense?
It does. You are not of this world. The world is within you.
Yeah, exactly that. Absolutely.
That's right. Yeah.
Getting back to your original question, having that perspective when my conditioning is triggered by something that, Boris Johnson said or, or whatever's happened. I've been, another relationship hasn't worked out the way I wanted it. Whatever the thing is, another job I didn't get, the things that everybody on earth goes through. There's no one gets out of it. The things that Stephen went through, he wasn't exempt from, I think that's really important, actually, that now he's gone, that people see that he was a man, a brilliant man, but a man. Like, he was dealing with the same things that everyone else is dealing with. He wasn't. He still had to pay bills. He still had to.
That's right. You would still get angry and frustrated at times. You'd cut yourself on much quicker than most people would, but you would still, lose sight of things at times and get lost in his thoughts and feelings. Then he'd cut himself on and he'd bring himself back. But yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that ability it moved through him as well. I saw him get very angry. I mean, proper angry. I won't tell you the story because it wasn't at me. It was at someone else in my presence. But this. I mean, I've never seen rage like it come up. But it didn't stick. It came up. It was expressed. He was right, by the way. He was in the right. It wasn't bullying anyone. It was an argument. He was in the right. It was fully, completely expressed, and then it was gone as quick as that. Because it wasn't a lingering, slow, building up, resentful, going away, holding onto it, coming back. Now it's in my chest. Now it's a week of it festering, and now I'm back in that situation. Now it was in that moment, bang, like a nuclear explosion, and then gone, and it was instant peace afterwards.
Yes.
He literally turned to me and let's go get a cup of tea. Like I've never seen that volcano that big, and then it go back to instant peace because he wasn't attached to it. It was being expressed through. It was what was happening. It was expressed through him.
Yeah, I often wonder because I used to interview Stephen. We did 20 hours of live streaming together over a period of 2 years, and I've often wondered, and others have too, I wonder what he would have to say about all this that's going on. And every time I thought I know what he was going to say, he would have a totally different avenue or perspective or insight. Just when I thought I had him, pegged, he'd come out with this whole new wisdom. But yeah.
Once something happened, it was at some global event. It wasn't this. It was some big thing that we thought might have been 9/11. Something happened that we all thought was going to change everything. And somehow he got into a rap about how the Pope's hat was a dolphin's head. And I explained, and then he explained how he got to that, about how apparently Christianity was a dolphin cult, and he went through the whole history of and dolphins will come up, and that's what the Pope's hat was based on. And then he linked it back into what had just happened. Yeah. And it was I'm sitting there like, that was a fun ride. That was like a Terry Pratchett novel come to life.
Yeah,
I feel better.
I'd love you to tell a story about how you met Stephen back in the day.
I met him. This is going back. I would have been about. It was my first go at a driving test, so I think I was 19. Yeah. I think I was 19, and I was very. No, I was a little bit older. I was 20. I just moved back from London. I tried to move to London when I was like 18 and failed, and I come back, and a relationship had gone wrong, as is their want. But this one had lasted about you know, it was quite a pain. It was only like 3 weeks, but it was quite painful. And a big part of it was driving because I couldn't drive and she could. So I put in for my driving test. They did the pre-test, what should we call it?
Theory, yeah.
The theory.
Yeah.
And I was in Guildford High Street, and there was a little bookshop at the top. It's not there now. And I went in there to get a book to cheer myself up. And there was the green spine. It was the Barefoot Doctor Handbook for the Urban Warrior, but it was in the wrong place. It was in the cinema section. They put it in the wrong place.
Right.
But I just took that off the shelf because I thought that looks interesting. And then it was the shape was odd, and I just fell in love with it on the spot. It was, oh my God, this is exactly what I need right now. So I bought it, read it in like an afternoon, loved it. And the internet was not as it is now then. So the way you found out about stuff was Time Out magazine. And I was buying Time Out because that's how you got comedy gigs. You went through the comedy section and they had the phone numbers of the comedy clubs and you rang around the clubs. It's a different world then. And he was in the listings in the cabaret section doing an evening like that night at a club called Jago in the East End, I think it was. So down I went. I'll go and see him talk. Marvellous. And I got there and it was like this night in this bar. People were sort of sitting around. There was no sign of him. And I'm sitting there like I don't know anyone. And I'm sat. This is so weird. I'm sat at the back in the dark. Like I'm not even lit up. I'm in the dark on my own. There are people there that know who he is, who are sat around the front on the bean bags and that, waiting for him to arrive. He come in the door. I swear to you, I'm not making this up. He came in, dumped his bag off in the DJ booth. He looked at me, put his bag, took his coat off, came out, stepped over them, came to the back of the room, and he looked me in the eye and said, "I know you." And that was the first thing he said to me. "I know you." And I went, we haven't met. I mean, we haven't met. Part of me was thinking maybe he'd see me at a gig or something, because I've been gigging for about a year then.
Yeah.
I couldn't work out how else it could be. And I went, we haven't met. And he goes, "No, that's not what I mean. But I know you, and we're going to be brothers." And then he turned around, and he did the show, did his talk, did his thing. And then he came straight at the end of it. He got his glass of whiskey, came back over and sat down. And we just started talking. Like we've been mates for 20 years.
Yeah.
And that's how I met him.
Yeah, amazing. I love that story. I've heard you tell it before. And that's why I want to share it. And it's marvellous that we're bringing you a little bit of Stephen through tonight. And
yeah. It was a lovely night. I can remember every detail of that night. I started asking all these questions like, is astral projection true?
Yes.
And all that sort of stuff. And all the things in your book, are they true?
Yes.
You're like, oh, yeah. Because, you don't, some of these books, you read them and you think, this is pie in the sky. Do you know what I mean? This man's never left his body. Do you know what I mean? It's like, come on. Some of the claims for Stuart Wilde's books are full of malarkey. Do you know what I mean? Like you read these books and you imagine he's this Taoist warrior god, and then you see this fresh mess. Kind of, you know what I mean? This alcoholic, deranged man. But Stephen wasn't like that. Stephen was the thing in his books he did do those. The last day I saw him was even the very last time I saw him, he'd stayed here the night. And in the morning, I come down the stairs, half asleep, and there he was in the front doing his Tai Chi, doing his Shun Yi, doing his Bao all those things. Anything he said that he did. He lived his own work. He lived it for real.
Yeah, he often used to say it kept him alive. He said, "This is keeping me alive. This hour and a half I spend every day." And I didn't realise he meant literally, but he probably did. He literally.
Yeah. He never missed a day.
No. Have you ever astral projected, Danny? Here's a question for you.
Right. Yes and no. In that, once I found out what astral projection actually was, yes, because people get this misunderstanding that it's literally leaving your physical body.
Yeah.
Which, if that floats your boat, but it's not. It's more of a imaginal journey. Journeying's a term I prefer. It's going on an imaginary journey into yourself. It's it feels like you've left your body because but your eyes are closed and you're actually moving through your own imagination. You're not literally bilocating to another country. You can't literally float upstairs through the ceiling and tap your girlfriend on the shoulder. Do you know what I mean? And I'd be very, very dubious of anyone claiming that they have done that. Very wary. But you can certainly go on a journey, and you can certainly encounter things that feel real. And I've done that quite a bit. It's a good way to create stuff. It's a good way to deal with it. If there's an issue that you cannot get a handle on, because you'll meet it in metaphor. If you do that, you'll meet it as a metaphor, and you'll deal with it. And because something can't be got at with words, you have to kind of, they're formless. So,
yeah, I love what you just said about astral projection and journeying into your own mind and your own psyche yourself. I'm curious to know as well, what is the creative process for you? Obviously, you do comedy clubs, or you did up until March, and you'd obviously do a stand-up gig, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever it might be. And what's your creative process? Do you kind of just turn up on the night and start doing gags, or do you write stuff beforehand, or how does it work for you?
Well, it varies now, because everyone's got their own creative process, and it took me the longest time to work out what mine even was, because I tried sitting down with a blank piece of paper and writing jokes, and it just came out crap. Like, it just didn't come out good. And I've got mates that can do that, and they come out superb, and I can't do that. I tried various things, but right now what it is getting out of the way. It's the only way I can describe it, is getting out completely and utterly, totally out of the way. Like I'm doing it now with you. There's nothing, there's not even a thought between me right now and what's happening. I don't live like that. There were thoughts earlier on. So when I went to the shops, I was well lost in thought. But right now, there's not a thought in my head. And I'm just out of the way. And I'm speaking in response to what you're saying. And you're speaking. And it's just happening. It's just happening.
Yeah.
There's no contrivance. There's no goal. There's no agenda to get anything. It's just what's happening now. And the more I can live like that, with no agenda, and just with what is, the more ideas float up for funny bits and things, and then the skill is grabbing the ones that are going to work for an audience and then trying them. But so that's my creative process, is doing nothing. But I mean doing nothing as in, I don't mean just sitting on the couch vegging out. I mean consciously letting go, releasing, emptying. I don't want anything between me and an audience, not even a thought. So I keep saying that to people. I don't know if they get it or not. And the more I do that, the more stuff seems to come up and through. Am I making? Yeah.
Yeah, you make a lot of sense.
I'm on about material for, so something will happen out there. Boris will say something will happen. It will go in, and then somewhere back there, the bigger part of me will create something, and all I've got to do is get out of my own way and wait for it to float up, and it will. Because where do thoughts come from?
That's a good question.
I'm serious right now. Where do your thoughts come from? If you sit and watch them, you'll see. They arise out of a void, exist for the briefest of times, and they go back into a void. They arise out of a void, exist, go back. Everything arises out of this nothing and goes back into it. So what's in that nothing? Nothing that they're coming out of. What's in there? Nothing. But if you can attune yourself, if you can get out of your own way, if you can drop your personality, your judgments, your beliefs, your expectations, your hopes, and just be, and then creative ideas come up out of the nothing, and then you can act on them. And that's quite a nice thing to be able to do right now. That's what I'm doing to get through this.
Yeah.
Rather than panic and make a list of 10 things I can do today, I'm better off making a cup of tea, just sitting quiet in my garden and listening. And then an action will arise spontaneously, and that will lead to the next action, which leads to the next, and because something's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's not nothing. Something's going to happen. So, yeah.
Remember when I first started doing live streams years ago, I'd be like pacing the floor, nervous beforehand. I'd be, what am I going to say? Will I look to this, to that? How will I come across? Will anyone turn up? And even when I did interviews initially, I was more worried about how many people's on. What should I see next? What question we're going to ask next? What happens if you stop speaking now and I haven't got a question? And I wasn't present and I wasn't enjoying them in the moment. I'd watch them back later and enjoy them the second time, but I wasn't present enough to enjoy them at the time, which was a shame. But yeah, now these days, I just click go live. I've got an intro ready, but beyond that, it's just natural, which is much better, much more enjoyable. Yeah. But I've got a. Oh, here's a comment and a half. You're beautiful, Danny and Danny. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, lady whose name I won't even attempt to pronounce. I'm sure, Dan. How do you pronounce that, Dan?
I must admit, I wouldn't like to have a go at that either, but thank you for the comment.
Do well. Hey, lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's very nice thing to say.
That's it. I remember seeing you do a magic trick. It's probably not going to work because there's no one there physically with you. But I remember you did a magic trick for Stephen, and
oh yeah,
his eyes lit up, and I thought, how did you do that? And I'm not one of these people who wants to know. I don't want to know how it's done because it spoils it. It's magic. I used to work with a magician at work, and people used to want to know how he did it, and I didn't. He's like, you really don't? I said, nah, it's magic.
Yeah, I love it. I'll show you one now if you want.
Yeah, if you can, that'd be amazing. Yes.
I just happen to have a deck of playing cards. My desk. These are all. You have to take it on trust that these are all different.
Yes.
And we haven't sorted this out we haven't sorted this out in advance.
That looks really
I can't see the other people, Danny, so I'm going to do it to you.
Right.
I'm going to take out one of these. There you go. Put that in my pocket there. Now, I need you to mention a card. What's your favourite card if you have one? And if you don't, make one up.
So, do you want me to tell you what my favourite was? Mm-hmm. King of Hearts, I'm going to say.
Now, is there any particular reason for that, apart from the obvious, it's a male card and the heart and everything else? But does it have any specific significance for you?
Just a random card I picked, to be honest.
Fair enough, mate. No worries. But this is the weird thing. You remember that card that I put in my pocket?
Yes.
At the start of this. If I can grab the thing. This one here.
Yeah.
Just happens to be the King of Hearts.
Yay! Get in. Yeah, it'll be remiss of me not to have a magician on and not have it.
Yeah, it's very tricky to do tricks through the.
Yeah, I can imagine.
This format, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So what gigs have you got coming up? I noticed on your Danny Buckler page.
Right. So I've got one live one coming up, actually live in a socially distanced venue, which is going to be in Chippenham at the Old Road Tavern, which is on the 29th of October, I think, but double check the link. Which is me doing a show, an hour of whatever I've got ready by then. So if you're sort of in the West Country, that's one you can come along to. There'll be more, but it's just at the moment, everyone's like local lockdowns, people are hedging their bets. And yeah, so the main focus at the moment is the Instagram and the Facebook lives when I get enough followers on there. I don't know how many you need to do lives. I've got 500 and something, but.
I must admit, I'm not actually on Instagram. The times I've watched you, it's just someone shared a link. I put
it in the Facebook. I put it on the Facebook as well. So if people want to watch it, if you just like my Facebook page, The Danny Buckler Show, I share it to there. But if you want to have the live thing, it's on Instagram and people get involved and ask me questions. It's quite nice.
Yeah, I'll pop your Facebook page in the comments.
Yeah. We have chats of a sort of a spiritual nature.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
About, real magic as well as and comedy and films and whatever anyone asks me about. Nothing's off.
I see you give so much value. You're obviously a comedian. You've got insight, bit of magic. You've just got nice flow. You're sensitive. Yeah.
I think of doing some sort of some meditation classes as well. I tried to do it on when the lockdown first started. I used to do this thing, Zen Time with Buckles. You couldn't save them then, though, but it was just to try and get people of an evening before bed. It was like, come, turn up, we'd have a little sit, and I would guide them through a thing. And sometimes it was visualization, but normally it was just guiding them into that non-dual state that I was talking about earlier, because that's a very blissful state to go to sleep in. Yeah. And it worked, actually, but people liked it. And then we got into some Dzogchen stuff and some other bits and bobs. And But now I've decided I'm going to keep doing that. But to make it because with Instagram Live, people are sort of scrolling through and coming and going throughout.
Yeah.
And people were coming in, and all they would see was like me sitting here doing this. I didn't know what the context was.
Yeah.
So I'm getting these messages like, "Have you gone mad? Do you ever Instagram Live? Just you sat there with your eyes closed. Have you got a bit nuts?" So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to start doing it as like a little Zoom type meeting thing, and then people get sent a link to that, and they can come in, and then we'll have an hour, and we can all sit together and do it that way. So people are interested in that.
Yeah, I'm interested. I am actually interested in that.
They can find, I'll advertise it on my Facebook group and my Instagram Live. And
one last question, one last sort of thing. I noticed when I was preparing for the interview, doing a bit of prep, I noticed Russell Brand had left you an endorsement.
Yeah, back in the day that was. Yeah, I've not seen him in years, but yeah, back when we were gigging. But I used to gig with him a lot.
Right.
You know, just because we were both. You know, we started out at the same time. Fascinating man.
Yes.
There's a man with Shakti.
Yeah, he is.
I had my most powerful off him. I had that real powerful hit of. He was amazing. He still is amazing. But back then he was thunder. I mean, that was. I think I saw him at his best comedically. I think because he was just raw, funny. He wasn't political or what. You know, now he's not. I don't think he's pretty much sticks to social media now, as far as I can tell. But
yeah, he's obviously got a wife now and a child, and so he's calmed down. Plus, he's probably in his 40s and things. So yeah,
I don't know him now, unfortunately, because you know you drift apart. But I'm very grateful for that brief time that I got to see him and he gave me that quote. That was what he thought of me. Yeah, so that was quite nice.
That was nice. You got any closing thoughts, Danny?
None. No, just follow us on Instagram if you would like. Follow my the Danny Buckler Show is my page on Facebook. Come and hang out with us and you know, be as present as you possibly can to what is. And I do mean what is, not what you think's got. What actually is happening.
Yes,
that's the best way to get through this.
Yeah, Danny Buckler, what a fantastic guest you've been. You've given so much value. You've entertained us all. Thank you to those who showed up, whether live or catching the replay. Share it out. Share out the love. Share out the joy, the entertainment. And thanks for the comments. Someone saying you're very funny, very clever, but sometimes you need. Oh, he's on about Russell Brand. You need a thesaurus to understand. Yeah. But anyway, thanks, Danny. We'll have to do this again.
Cheers, mate. All the best. Good night.
Cheers now. Bye-bye.